The premise is a simple one, folks. Over the course of the next 4 Saturdays, we're going to play through 4 seasons as manager of Derby County with 1 goal and 1 goal only. Take them back from League One to the Premier League when they don't really have any money because the updated databases show them as still in administration. It'll be fine. Of course, one thing that's not fine is because they're still in administration, it actually means we are still in a transfer embargo as well. I can't even remember where you see the there you go. In administration, brackets, under transfer embargo. We've got all of the updated clubs in each league. We've got all the updated player transfers. This is your current Derby County squad that isn't going to let me sort by position. There you go. Current Derby County squad. But it's got last year's money problems. It's the worst of both worlds. We're in League One and in administration. We're in debt. The wage budget is maxed out. The transfer budget is basically non-existent. Neither of those really matter because we can't do transfers anyway. So we're relying not only on someone coming in and taking over the club, but also giving us some spensies in there as well, because things are pretty rough for this football club. The media are expecting us to finish rock bottom of League One and get relegated again, despite the fact we've got 4 players in the Dream 11. I'm skeptical about how accurate this is. I think it's just struggling with the fact that we're in administration, but we've got the 2 best strikers, 2 of the best midfielders as well. I don't think we're going to finish bottom. However, the board require me to win promotion by winning the league. And we can't sign any players to do it. And we're on a tidy little squad that does have some good players in. The good players tend to be aging good players. Conor Hurahan at 30 years old is our best player. David McGoldrick at 33 is up there as well. Christian Bielik is out on loan at Birmingham for the season, so we can't use him. Max Bird is probably our most saleable asset with a value range of 9.4 to 11 million pounds. He's earning way more than any League One player should be earning, and Newcastle want him. Of course, the problem is if we sell him while we're still under a transfer embargo, we can't replace him. So we just lose one of our best players and the money disappears into the ether. So we need to try and keep hold of him until we have new owners. And then all of the other best players at the club are all in their 30s. Corey Smith, James Collins, James Chester, Curtis Davies, Craig Forsyth. You have to go all the way down to Louis Sibley to find another player who is not in his 30s. He is another good youngster that has lots of potential, though. So there are a few decent assets to build the future of this club around. But the focus, once we get out of administration, assuming I don't get fired while we're in administration for not being top of the league, the goal has to be to freshen up this team with younger players. We're not going to be signing 30-year-olds. We're going to be focusing, bringing in young and hungry players who can not only get us out of League One, but remember, we've got a deadline to get into the Premier League as well. We need to bring in the kind of players now who can help us win promotion to the Premier League within the next 3 seasons. Easy, right? If you're looking forward to all of that, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video. That would be very much appreciated. If you are new, subscribe, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff. And let me know down in the comments section whether or not you think I've got any chance at all of getting this team back to the Premier League within four seasons. Like I say, episodes every Saturday. It will all be fine. All I can really do at this point is sit and wait and hope that we get Takeover. I've done holidays on this a couple of times, and there always is a takeover, usually before Christmas, sometimes as early as August. But there's no way of knowing when it's going to happen. So we're just going to kind of wait around until the takeover happens. If it happens before the season starts, obviously we'll get stuck into trying to do some transfers. Otherwise, I guess we'll just start playing some football matches. Well, this is an unexpected part of being an administration. I guess I should have figured this would happen too. Not only are we on a transfer embargo, I also am not in a position to negotiate the outgoing transfers. Offers come in and the board just decide what they're going to do with them. So we had loads of these offers coming from Cardiff for Bobby Duncan, and we just kept negotiating them until we got to the point where we decided to accept this one at £325,000. The one positive is 50% sell on for him, but I mean, he's not a player we were likely to start now, but with 4-star potential, he's someone who we might well have wanted to use as part of the project. He's one of the few players under 30 at the club, and he's going, and there's nothing I can do about it. And not only that, we're selling him at a discount, so I'm over the moon with that. Well, it's the first day of the new season, of course, against the club I support in real life. Peterborough United, also relegated from the Championship last season. Not ideal that our goalkeeper is injured for the first 3 months of the season with torn knee ligaments. So we're playing 33-year-old Scott Loach, who's, I mean, he's played the last 5 years in the conference. Oh, good. Oh, good. Jason Knight is injured as well. He's going to be missing for the first 3 weeks of the season. He's probably our best midfield player. So he's unavailable. So we've recalled Christian Bielik from his loan at Birmingham. It was an option for us to recall him, so we have recalled him. I'm now realising why he was loaned, because he's on £20,000 a week, which is a stupid amount of money for Derby to be playing anybody. Well, to be fair, McGoldrick and Hurahan are both earning more than that because Derby are insane, but it does mean we are over our wage budget. So even if we get the takeover, we're already well over wage budget. Not great. No sign of the takeover incoming either. And there's still clubs sniffing around all our good young players. We need this takeover quick. This is the peak of sadness. Because of the transfer embargo, we're not even allowed to take part in deadline day with the media. Very sad. What's also sad, the start to the season has not been ideal. We've not won a game yet. Apart from against Carlisle in the EFL Cup, draws against Peterborough, Exeter, McDongs and Ipswich. We even drew against Norwich in the Carabao Cup second round, but got knocked out on penalties. And that seems to have knocked the stuffing out of us a little bit, because we then went to Oxford and lost. We're a team that is supposed to be going up as champions. We're currently in 16th place after the first month. The board are already disappointed in me. Bearing in mind, we are overachieving what the media expected from us, and we're not able to sign any players. We really need this takeover. The goal now is just stay in the job until January, hope the takeover has happened by then, do our transfers then, and hope the board have enough patience to let me stick around that amount of time. Otherwise, that bit where I said this would be the next 4 Saturdays in a row, it might just be the next 3 or 4 minutes. And then I have my first big embarrassment on YouTube in years. Oh, things are starting to turn around, boys and girls. We have won 2 games on the bounce in the league, starting to claw our way up the table. Only 4 points outside of the playoffs now. But importantly, I can see shenanigans are going on up here. I don't know what any of them are yet. I haven't read the inboxes, but I can see that the Derby takeover is complete. Jordan Mitchell has successfully completed his takeover of Derby County. Could he not have done that 2 weeks ago so we could have done deadline day? I don't know if that means money or what. Thank you for your patience, blah, 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 blah. Club Vision, they still want us to win promotion by winning the league. Fair enough. Transfer embargo is officially lifted. The debts have been restructured. We have strengthened our financial position. I don't know what this means. We've exited administration, struck a deal with creditors. Club is plans to run the club on a sound financial footing. I don't like the idea of that. Club is now in a position to refuse and negotiate transfer offers again. That's crucial. And let's have a look at the actual financial situation. So there's been no cash injection. I've seen people do these and get tycoons come in. I just get guys promoted from within and can't even give me a little bit of transfer budget. I don't really know what the situation is going to be from here, because although we now theoretically can get involved in transfers, we're going to be paying towards our company voluntary agreement for the next 10 years. We've got absolutely zero budget. We are going to have to sell someone in January. At least now we're in a position to sell someone. But one of these youngsters who have got decent value, Jason Knight, maybe, Brighton and Newcastle are interested in him. We're basically looking for Newcastle. Newcastle are interested in Max Bird. If we can sell one of those to Newcastle for 10 million plus, we haven't got any transfer revenue retained. There's no point. That needs fixing immediately. Increase percentage of transfer revenue retained. Basically, we need to be in the position by January to be able to do some transfers. Or else I might be sacked quite soon. Getting quite fed up of drawing games and not scoring goals. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws in our last 8 games. I mean, it is a 11-game unbeaten run. So we've got that. But the league table is not looking too clever. We are well off the pace. The board, not amused. But at least we're still hemorrhaging money. So there's always that. It's becoming clear to me, this is a bigger job than I anticipated. We need to ship out all these players who are earning too much money. If we have a look at, in fact, I haven't looked at this yet, but if we have a look at the player wage expenditure in this league, we are spending so much more money than everybody else. Almost double what most of the rest of the league is spending. Up to 4 times. Up to nearly 10 times what Cheltenham are. Yeah, we've got to bin off a lot of these overpaid players that we don't need. Through whatever means possible, we need to get the likes of McGoldrick, Hourihane, Bielik, Smith, Collins, Chester. These all need to get out of the club. There might be a January fire sale if I make it to January. I'm still stable at the moment, I think. But we need to get rid of all the overpaid players and bring in an actual League One squad of League One players. Not, this is the same mistakes that got them into the pickle they're in the first place. Overpaying for players that aren't good enough. I need an entirely new squad. Well, we've made it to January, or I guess more importantly, I've made it to January without getting sacked. It is the 2nd of January. The transfer window has just opened. We've made it up to 6th in the league, 50 points on the board. We've got a game in hand as well. So we are hopefully going to be in the playoff mix come the end of the season. Although now the window is open, I am trying to do what I can to start putting this squad back together again. So David McGoldrick is the first name out the door. He was earning £22,000 a week. We're a League One club. He was a 34-year-old on 22 grand a week. Not having that, he's gone to Rapid Vienna for £110,000, and there should be more following him. That brings us underneath the wage budget, allows us a little bit of maneuverability. We are now going to be hunting for loans and free transfers. It's pretty much all we can do just to try and bring down the average age of the squad, bring down the average salary of players in the squad. Anyone over really £10,000 a week needs to be watching their back, because they're probably going to be shoved out the door sooner rather than later. We've lost over £6 million since the takeover went through in September. The club is hemorrhaging money. It can't carry on as it is. So we need to sort it. Let's get some of these players gone. Well, I am going to call this a very efficient January. We got the job done. As you can see, lots of business. This is just the highlights. McGoldrick moving out. And we've also loaned a couple of our youngsters out with their full salaries being paid. But we have some free transfers who were in. Alfie Mawson, I think this has got to be signing of the window. Only £5,000 or just under £6,000 a week we're paying him on a 3-year contract as a player who is comfortably good enough to play in the Championship. Only just turned 28 years old. That is a signing, boys and girls. Jerome Sinclair is in as well. He's cheap and he's an extra body to have around. It's kind of what we've been going for. Likewise, Izzy Brown, cheap and an extra body, can play lots of positions. They're not necessarily going to be starters, but we didn't have any kind of squad before, so it was very important to get those guys in. But it's not just them who are in. As well as the free transfers, we've also brought in some loans. So we've got Joseph Hungbo, who is in from Watford until the end of the season. He is a left winger who can also play in the other attacking positions. Mark Helm is an attacking midfielder who can also play central midfield, out on either wing. Josh Martin from Norwich can play on either wing. We've also got Brooke Norton-Cuffy, comes in from Arsenal, who is a right back, but can also offer cover at left back. And then James Bree, another right back, in on loan from Luton until the end of the season, who is a right back. With all those boys in, we are still paying less in wages than we were paying at the start of January. We're still not quite within the budget. We weren't able to shift the likes of Conor Hourihane out of the club. We're also disappointed that Liam Thompson, who is one of our 5-star potential youngsters, we weren't able to agree a new deal with him. He's going to be joining Nice at the end of his contract, which is frustrating to say the least. We've still got some highly paid players around, but Hurahan's contract's up in the summer. He will be gone then. There's no way that gets renewed. And then we just continue to try and push the likes of Bielik and Smith out of the club. Unless, of course, we're back in the championship. Because if we're in the championship, we might be able to afford some of these salaries. We're 6th in the league at the moment. The board are still not particularly amused, and my job is now considered insecure. But with those new boys in, hopefully we can start moving back up the league again. 8 in, 4 out. I think it's a better squad now than we've had all season long. Now we just need to prove it and win some football matches. Oh, this run of form is not ideal. I bring in my transfers and it all falls apart. We were as high as 4th in the league at one point, but defeats against Oxford, Cheltenham, Portsmouth. These are all teams around us in the league. We managed a draw against Bolton. We actually managed to beat Sheffield Wednesday, got back up to 6th place at that point, but then defeats against Wickham and Burton. And without even offering me 5 games to save my job, the board have sacked me. Well, it looks like I need to come up with a plan for the next 3 weekends then. This is quite a hard job. I'll leave a link to the updated database down in the description below. Let me know down in the comments how you get on, but we found ourselves in an impossible situation because of the board expectations. They were expecting us to win the league. Ultimately, we are still very much in the promotion mix. With 8 games to go, we're 2 points outside of the playoffs. I think that's a fantastic position for us to be in, but clearly it's below what the board were looking for. We weren't able to make the moves I would have liked to have made in January because we weren't able to free up the money. We couldn't get Hurahan, Smith, Bielik. We couldn't get these guys out of the club. So because we couldn't get them out of the club, we weren't really in a position to bring the quality of player in that we needed to bring in. We were relying on loans, and even with the loans, a lot of the ones that we wanted ended up going to other clubs. So we were stuck with the loans that no one else really wanted, and then some free transfers. I still maintain Alfie Mawson's a great signing, especially for that kind of money, but it wasn't enough. And the likes of Jerome Sinclair and Izzy Brown, they were just cheap options to fill up squad spots. They were never going to be game-changing players. We lost McGoldrick, of course, in January as well, to try and free up some money. And unfortunately, I think I've performed quite well. The board think otherwise. So I guess we wrap things up there. I can't rebuild Derby. We failed. Notice it now becomes a we. This is new. We'll come up with a new idea for next week. If you don't spoil this in the comments, by the way, let people get to this point of the video and see the look on my sad little face. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.